Hey, podcast listener. Dan Andrews here. Hey, Ian, it was suggested to us that for the 100th episode of the LBP, we do a video cast. How do you feel about that?
I was just thinking about that the other day. I was thinking, what are we going to do for the 100th episode? And then I looked at the site and realized that our designer, Tammy, had taken down the episode numbers. So I was like, well, who's going to know anyways?
Right. Well, this is
Hmm.
episode number something, 90-ish. Let's get moving. Hey, podcast listener, even if you are alone in your entrepreneurial pursuit, know that today, right now in your earbuds, you are joined by thousands of entrepreneurs all around the globe seeking to do the same thing you are. If you want to know more about this program or this podcast or want to get barraged by a lot of annoying pop-ups, check out our website, lifestylebusinesspodcast.com. Yeah, buddy, it's Thursday, and that means it's time for another lifestyle business podcast where we believe building a business is the ideal way to create more freedom and flexibility and cash money for you, your family, and those around you. Today, I'm joined by my captain, my co-host, the CEO of our fine organization, the man who puts the sugar into Sugar Daddy. Welcome to the program. Ian, where are you? What's your 20?
Hey, buddy, I'm in San Diego right now, hanging out. Actually, I'm right here on Autoblog. You caught me. I'm checking out the new Dodge Viper that's coming out. Yeah, man, this thing looks sweet. Have you seen the new pictures yet?
I have not.
The new Dodge Viper, it puts out more horsepower. It's either more horsepower or more torque than any naturally aspirated engine right now. The power to weight ratio is ridiculous.
All right, we're
Ridiculous.
having a casual episode today. This is more of like a tropical talk radio, which is on a little bit of a hiatus. So let me ask you today, if you had 50 grand cash money and you had to spend it on a car, what would you buy?
Ooh, like a daily driver, used or new?
Used, of course.
Used, of course. Hmm.
Think about that. If you guys stick around to the end of the episode, we'll explain why some car guy is going and twisting himself and contorting himself with a bunch of women on a weekly basis. Is it not obvious? The shouts, the news. We've got 2 new iTunes reviews. Raise yourself past the noise and ignite your passions. Live life on your terms and escape the mediocrity. I don't know. Maybe we're somewhat mediocre ourselves, but thanks for mediocre ourselves. But thanks for that. The Lifestyle Business Podcast is numero uno. It's business time, 5 stars, and great even for location independent entrepreneurs and business owner. 5 stars. Love the podcast. This reviewer puts us up in some of the top podcasts out there, including Duct Tape Marketing and Marketing Over Coffee. One listener suggested that if you listen to us at 2 times speed, you can get the information doubly as fast. And I think it sounds something like this when you put it on 2 times speed, so it's not really that bad. What do you think?
Yeah. I listen to a lot of podcasts actually on 2 times speed. I'm a little offended that you're listening to ours on 2 times speed, but I'm
This
all right
week,
with that.
this week we had a site down due to SSL certification, and I don't know, man. This is all the more reason in my mind to move over to platforms like Shopify. Ian,
Yeah.
I look at these legacy sites. This week, a developer told us that they wouldn't develop our Drupal site because it was too much of a jungle in there. And
Yeah.
this week, I probably spent 2 hours of my time dealing with an SSL certification for one of our domains. And yeah, I mean, this actually parlays into some of the user questions. So Joe Hughes at the Dynamic Life on Twitter says, I actually met Joe in New York City. He says, I checked out the portablebarcompany.com, and you guys said you switched it from Shopify to WordPress, but you didn't say why. Why are you no longer selling the bar on the site, but just accepting phone calls? What's going on with this, guys? Teach us the insider info. And, part of the reason we're doing a little bit more casual episode this week is that we've been focused on this portable bar company. So, Ian, tell me the story.
Yeah, Portable Bar Company is going pretty well. It's a very competitive landscape, but we're finding that we're doing all right in it. And so we're just kind of at the beginning of this. We're learning about the industry, we're learning about the products. It's a long road ahead of us. So to answer Joe's question, why did we go from Shopify to WP? The reason why we went from Shopify to WordPress is because we are no longer selling the product online. And there's a lot of different reasons for that, but the main reason is so we can be competitive. A lot of these products are sold offline through quote forms, basically. So if you can imagine a buyer for this kind of product, somebody like Bacardi might come to 3 or 4 different companies, us being one of them, and say, "Hey, give me your most competitive price
Right.
on this product." And so that takes a fair amount of strategy and understanding of circumstances and things like that. And it just doesn't cut it. If you have the price online, then it's really easy for somebody, especially a buyer, to come to your site. Oh, these guys are $300 higher. The conversation never starts. And
Right.
so by not having the price on the website, you have to initiate a conversation with us in order to figure out what the price of the bar is.
Yeah, selling these $3,000 portable bars is what Rob Walling from Startups for the Rest of Us commonly calls a high touch sale. And if your first touch is this bar is $2,000, that sometimes doesn't send the best message. And also, we asked ourselves the question: how many SKUs are going to have in this business in the next, year time frame? And we're, maybe 3 or 4 or 5. Not really an e-commerce play, more of a marketing play. So instead, we
Right.
focused on sort of building that relationship, encouraging people to contact us and call us, take a look at our videos, build a relationship with us that way. One of
Yeah,
those.
and we sorry to cut you off. We like building businesses that are really resource intensive, right? So like we got a bunch of salespeople and customer service and stuff like that. So I shouldn't say a bunch, a few. So we sell products that require customer assistance and follow up and things like that.
We wouldn't want
And
to make it
that's
easy
really
on
sustainable
ourselves.
for us. Yeah.
Speaking of easy on ourselves and how it happens, I was sort of going to David the other day. We're working on some marketing for a portable bar company, and I said, "Man, we only started this business 6 weeks ago. We're doing really good, and wow, this is exciting. Let's work harder and stuff." And David's like, "Dude, when I first met you over a year and a half ago, you guys were talking about this crap."
Yeah.
And I was kind of like, "Well, that's how it happens, isn't it? We've been dragging our feet on these damn bars for a year and a half, and so it's easy to think, we've just been doing it for 6 weeks, and now it's doing really well, and now we can't even record a podcast because we're so busy with it." But you know,
Well, the reality of it is that David's right. We have been working on it for a year and a half. We just got the product in recently, so we've only had the product in our warehouse for the last couple of months. But that shows how long it actually takes from the idea to the conception of the product, and then we're still like refining our sales message and our marketing messages, and we'll continue to do that for a long time. And we put up our first website on Shopify, and it sucked, right? Everybody agreed. That's part of the
yeah.
reason why we moved over to WordPress too. And we weren't getting very many leads. As soon as we changed the website, as soon as we refined the message, we started getting a lot more leads.
Yeah, and by the way, this isn't rocket science. I mean, we made a nice video. Well, Ian, you did a great job on that. One of the competitive edges in our e-commerce niches is photography. Don't skimp on photography. You need excellent pictures of your product, for sure. That's a competitive advantage. But we just used a Woo theme. I mean, this isn't anything that anybody listening to this podcast can't just go to Woo Themes, get a great looking theme, and put it up on a Bluehost. I mean, that's it. And just taking the time to write great copy, to put that phone number up, and to start building relationships with people. That's how this business is getting done, and we'll let you guys know the results in a few months, but it looks like this could be a really good industry for us, so we'll see.
Yeah.
Thanks to Bob Malloy, by the way, for putting graffiti on the University of Montana campus, LBP. Yeah, buddy, that is so cool. The best email of the week for sure. We continue to bag on the college experience, and Bob Malloy is helping us. Thanks, Bob. And
Kind of ironic, Bob. Thank you.
appreciate you listening. Liz Froment wrote us about one of our quick tips about coconut oil. She says she lives in a cold environment. It's even great for your hair. So you can pretty much do anything with coconut oil. If you are ever going to start that business, Ian, where you do the survival packs, and you just ship people a
Yeah.
skid of survival gear, be sure to include coconut oil. Thank you, Liz, for your comment. Next, we got a comment from Matt K at highcappin.com. DCer actually was on the program before. He want,
Yes.
yeah. So Matt's basically he wants to hear our philosophy about getting things done and entrepreneurial ADD. He's got a lot of projects. It's not a bad thing, but how do you guys make a decision about where to spend your resources and your time? You got a basic
Good question.
philosophy about this one? I mean, this is something that a lot of
Yeah.
people are struggling about with.
Yeah, I think so. I know a little bit of backstory on Matt. He's got a couple successful businesses. I don't know if he's still doing the legal stuff, but he's doing sourcing for textiles and clothes. And so, anyways, I think part of the decision on how to spend your time is, I mean, it kind of depends on what stage your business is at, right? So for us, in the beginning of our business, it was like really clear. I had to spend all of my time designing products because that was the only way we were going to have a business.
Right.
Now that's scaled, and now we have a designer, and now he designs most of our products, and so I don't have to spend so much time doing that. So you kind of get freed up, and now you're kind of in the situation. It's like, well, I've got a little bit more time. What am I going to spend my time doing? So I think it depends for everybody, kind of what stage of their business in.
You know what?
Matt,
Let
he's
me,
pretty good.
let's get less strategic and less stodgy about it. I'm like Gary V, man. I think if you're 1% unhappy about what you're doing, get off that horse. It's like, I have this philosophy. It's like if you can't figure out within 6 months if a business is good enough to put somebody in charge of it, like if you're not developing enough cash flow that you can put somebody to run that business, then it's not good enough. It's not a good enough focus of your time. And I really believe, Ian, that the types of business landscape that we're in, your time is at an all-time premium. The types of things that we can do with minimal capital are staggering. And so I think you got to be super stingy with your time. And I think that means driving after the things that you really feel great about. And that's just one thing that I'm unwilling to compromise on at this stage. When I feel those winds of passion and I see an entrepreneur, of course this is all in the context of entrepreneurship. I'm not talking about your passion for horse riding. I'm talking about your passion for building businesses, right? And doing things that are meaningful in an entrepreneurial sense. When I feel that wind of passion go, man, I put up the sails. And no longer am I going to martyr myself because I think I should be doing something and this and that. And I think that's important for us, Ian, going forward. I think that's important for a guy like Matt. It's like find the things in your industry that you really feel passionate about solving and do those things because you're not winning any martyr medals for sticking around and doing the hard yards.
That's right. And if
And I mean
sorry, go
hard
ahead.
emotional yards. I mean work's hard any way you slice it. Even though I'm quote passionate about X or Y, I mean it's hard. I'm sitting in front of the computer for 8 hours hoping that something drips out of me. You know,
Right.
but those 8 hours are focused on something that I'm happy about. That I can step away and say, you know what? I'm happy that I tried to write that blog post. I'm happy that I tried to reach out to that person because those are the things that I feel pumped about. I'm 100% knowing that that is something that I can feel good about at the end of the day. So that's the way I judge this stuff, Ian. Time is it. That's it. That's the top value in life. And if you're feeling like ambivalent about what you're doing, I think that that's a good place to focus on. Get rid of that. Flush out the ambivalence.
Word, I totally agree with you. And as an entrepreneur, I mean, what makes serial entrepreneurs is that they go out and they start multiple businesses. Once your, first business, second business, fifth business is up running, you go start another one. So, if you're not happy, like you said, doing what you're doing, go on, move on.
It's such tricky advice, right? Because on the one hand, you want to hold your feet to the fire and stick it out and everything, but on the other hand, Ian, we're just talking about the importance of a change of venue. Like for me, I'm a guy who like has a new interest every 6 months, and in some organizations, like if I worked for a big tax CPA firm, international firm, it'd be awful. I'd be a huge liability. But if I just have a change of venue and put myself in a different environment, it can be a huge asset. And it's this thing about a lot of people lament this idea like I can't stick to anything. I come up with a new brilliant idea every 3 weeks, and I kind of have that like look like really that's a problem that you have a new brilliant idea every 3 weeks. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to get a change of venue.
Yeah.
If it's legitimately valuable, find yourself an environment in which your skill set can thrive. And
Speaking of environment, what's going on over there, buddy? You outside right now?
I'm in Southeast Asia, man. We're building houses, we're riding motorbikes, everything. What's not happening?
The only thing I haven't heard yet is sweeping noise, which is pretty common there.
That's the thing. That's the sound of Southeast Asia. Shh, 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 shh. So AJ Dunn writes us. He wants some more free advice. Well, that's what we do, AJ. You wrote to the right guy. He wants to get some. He basically has a sales funnel for WordPress sites, and he can get them developed, or he has people that want to buy them from him, but his costs are too high. So he's suggesting, what's the best way that I can get a firm rockin' in the Philippines? Say you get a contract deal with a WordPress developer that can deliver WordPress sites for like $1,000 a month. What's the best way to get that done? He's got some money to do it. He's willing to go and sit down with firms in the Philippines. Well, AJ, I don't really think that a firm is the answer. I don't think you're going to do well, going door to door in Manila trying to find outsourcing firms. I mean, they're really looking for big clients. If you're an outsourcing firm, you don't want to talk with somebody unless they're talking 10 seats. We're
Right.
talking like 5 to 10 grand a month minimum. So what I really think you need is you need a smart entrepreneurial partner that maybe has a lower cost structure. And places where you're going to find that is twofold. You're going to find that on Odesk. You're going to find that maybe lesser on Elance, a little bit tougher on Elance. But I think relationships always when I think about this stuff, because you want to know this person. Who is that talented person that's willing to give you sites for $1,500 a pop? Off the top of my head, I can think of 10 people, and they're all in the dynamite circle. So that's a sales pitch, but it's true, because you need to. I mean, these are people like off the top of my head. Lewis could do a $1,500 WordPress. John McIntyre will do a $1,500 WordPress site. So I can
Right.
think of a bunch of people off the top of my head. In fact, he's doing one right now for me.
Right.
So AJ, maybe that's just more of a personal connection kind of thing, and we just need to talk on Skype, and that's how that stuff gets done. Final question from Sam. He's got a relatively successful AdSense site called WeightCritic.com that's been around for 3 years. He's thinking it might have the potential to go to the next level. So what do you do to get a site that's just been cranking AdSense for 3 years to get it to the next level?
Sell products.
That's
That's what
it.
you got to do.
That's it. You got to have a product. I think you got to look at this. Maybe if you've got a relationship, if you have with some of the visitors, toss up a mailing list, poll them, ask them, look at what are the top ad clicks that you're getting. What pages are getting the most traffic on your site. Try to do an inventory like that. What are the products that are going to be most lucrative for you to develop? That's it, man. That's the name of the game, is products. You can't be sending people off page to buy other people's products. Thanks, Sam, and good luck. It looks like you got a winner on your hands there. Let's get moving on to the quick tips, tricks, and or funny jokes section. I use speech-to-text-service.com to transcribe the Tao of the Hustle episode, thanks to Dylan Hassinger's advice. He'd like us to make a little coffee table book. I sort of looked at what we said during that episode, Ian, and
Was it any good?
there is no question that you look dumber when you write than when you talk. It's like, how dumb can we possibly look? Yes, it's sort of embarrassing, but it was $18 and the accuracy was excellent. I mean, this wasn't some person who doesn't know the English language. I think they translated Venkat from Ribbon Farm's name into like Ben Cat or something, but outside of that, everything was pretty money. So that's speech-to-text-service.com if you need a quick transcription. They turned it around in like 4 days, and I got the lazy service, so that was good for me. I'm very happy about that.
Awesome.
What's your quick tip this week?
Uh,
I'm gonna wait. Hold up. Hand on forehead. All right, go ahead.
yeah, you ready for this? I've been going to yoga. Yeah. I've been going to hot yoga, and your comments weren't too nice to me about that the other day, but I won't tell the listeners what they were.
You're just opening up the door for criticism, sir.
Look, man, it's pretty amazing stuff. So I've been going to hot yoga per some recommendations, and it's really opened me up to some spiritual. I've had some spiritual awakening, man. That's what's going on over here. No, for real, on the reels with the yoga, it's really going well. I'm doing the rolling still that Justin Hayes prescribed.
Yeah, and that's
And
myofascial release.
Yes, doing some of that in conjunction with the yoga, and I just feel so good. I mean, the hot yoga class, they pump it up to like, I don't know, 90, 100 degrees in there. I mean, I'm just totally dripping with sweat. It's slow movement, controlled breath, kind of in the moment stuff I didn't really think I would ever do. But I'm really looking forward to making making this part of my routine moving forward because I feel great. I really do after I do it. So
Yeah, and
everybody, if you haven't done a session of hot yoga, just check it out. Just check it out once.
sure.
Just once.
Yeah, and when I'm looking for more to increase my dating opportunities, I will as well go to hot yoga.
Hey,
But
buddy.
one thing
That's the truth.
that's one thing that we're doing is that we're both doing this myofascial release stuff. And I was talking to a friend recently who had a severe back problem. And what he said to me was really awakening, which is he said, if I would have known what I know now, what I learned in the hospital the last week, I would not have had this surgery. And so this knowledge that he was able to learn in less than a week would have prevented a major invasive surgery.
Yeah.
And that was a real eye opener for me. And you'll be damned if I didn't get on that softball for 25 minutes that day, buddy. So we're gonna talk a little bit more. Hopefully, we can get Mr. Justin Hayes on this very LBP program in the coming weeks. We got taxes coming up. We got all kinds of stuff to talk about it. But I'm glad you could dice just a small portion of your very overwhelmed schedule, apparently with portable bars and hot yoga, to join us here, Ian. We'll talk.
Yeah,
to
buddy.
you next week.
I'm gonna give you guys my quick pick here for under $50,000. It might be a little bit of a surprise to you, everybody. I'm a BMW fan, but I think if I had to put $50,000 on something, I would actually buy something new this time, and it would be the 370Z. Wow, that's what I get.
From left field, mine would be the M5. Let's talk next Thursday.
Booyah.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening. Don't be shy. We've got a mailing list, lifestylebusinesspodcast.com. Go there, get yourself signed up, and we'll keep you up to date on every